watching a master at work.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about.
Hey, y'all.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
I'm back. He's here. Guess what? Happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you.
Hey, look at the wall, y'all. Look at the decorations. Got the sign. Happy birthday, Joe. This is going to be a special.
March Madness. Y'all know what's happening.
Illinois boys.
Big Ten tournament's going on right now. Watch us, 60 minutes,
And
then you
then
can flip your channel.
To watch
Illinois
them
against-
Illinois boys beat Indiana. That's a guarantee.
Big Ten tournament's going on, man. Big Ten tournament. We already had some games today in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Michigan and Ohio State. Ohio State pulled out a 10-point victory there. Purdue put the full fops on Iowa today.
But, that's the way tournaments go. You don't, man, it's one you're gone. You may have a good night, and you may not. It doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter where you rank. It doesn't matter how many losses you have or wins you have. You better be on point when you step on that court.
You are correct. Right now, Michigan State is going up against Wisconsin, and as we said earlier, at about 10 after 8, after you get through sitting here watching Tell It Like It Is, flip it on the ESPN and check out Illinois, Indiana. Now, Illinois played yesterday. They played against Penn State. They had a 16-point cushion and almost let it slip.
They started off terrible.
13-2.
Come on. I know a lot of y'all saw the game. Illinois stunk at the beginning. They started off like they weren't even in it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, but, that's been how the season's gone all
Man.
year, Coach Weber has really tried his best in
I
terms
think he's
of
doing a good job keeping them kids together.
but he kind of lost it himself the other day. Did you see the press conference?
Well, I saw bits and pieces, and I heard a lot about it, though. I heard he just went off to,
If you want, on on Tell It Like It Is, we do little comedy improvisations of different athletes.
Is that what you want to do that? Because I really missed it, so maybe you can help me out as far as what happened. I can probably be you be Weber.
Okay.
You be Weber, and let me, all right, I'm going to be the press, okay? I'm going to be the press.
That's fair enough.
Okay, and, just tell me what happened.
Okay.
Hey, Bruce. John Towns from Coca-Cola, a newspaper out of Wausau, West Virginia. Hey, I just want to know something. Illinois football players, Coach Zook got rid of them. Why can't you get rid of them guys that with the problem with the Illinois basketball team? What's going on with that? Can I get an answer?
Well, John, that's football. Our guys, we're a family. You gotta understand, okay, we gotta play 40 minutes. Rich is rich, and
Yeah.
Jamar, these guys. Okay, you talk foot. I'm a basketball coach. We got to rebound. We can't come out and the guys got to understand. Hey, he did what he did. You talk about our kids and other kids. I don't read the papers. But the guy, you got to understand, our kids, if we don't, Warren's got to play ball for. But Brian, I won't watch TV. No, hey, it's your job. You guys,
Well,
hey, do your job. I don't know.
well, and that's it. And that's what happened, huh?
That was the press
I
conference.
was good, man. You got that hovel voice too, like Bruce Rubber, that little hovel. You know,
Like he got about 37 cents stuck in his
Man.
throat.
I was a real. He was angry, man.
He was very upset, and it just, I think all the pressure the entire season what's been happening with the off-court incidents, the injuries, and everything, and I think he felt like he was under a microscope.
Yep.
And Coach
Yep.
Snap, he's a human.
But I tell you one thing right now. I bet you why them kids from Chicago, like after they beat Penn State last night, I bet you were, hey, look, guys, go eat dinner, and I want you back in the room. Nobody's going anywhere.
No, Rich.
Nowhere.
Rich, you're not
shave your
driving.
hair. You look old enough to go to that club across the street, but you're not going.
Brian, you're not driving. Rich, guys, we talk about it every day, John. I tell the guy, they're kids. They're kids. We understand, but we got to get ready for the night.
They're on a strict leash. They're on a tight leash, man.
The dog whisperer
I think
is
if-
walking with him right
Oh,
now.
man,
And if
I
they
think-
just step off the curb, they're going to get the old
Yeah. And if one
In
more
the neck.
kid messes up, I think they had no other choice but to,
give him a whooping.
yeah.
Old school whooping.
Because that's what he did. Called
Now,
timeouts yesterday.
We're talking about March Madness right now.
Yeah.
Big Ten tournament. Some other tournaments going on too, other conference tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA lost. Duke lost.
And,
Let's see, who else is out of there? Georgia Tech, they're gone.
Uh-huh.
ACC. You got teams just falling by the wayside in these conference tournaments. And here's what that means. When it's time, this Sunday, when they're doing the brackets, a team from a conference that shouldn't have been in the tournament, they win the conference tournament, they get the automatic bid.
Yep.
That makes it tougher for Illinois. That's why tonight it's so important that they beat Indiana. Because right now, Illinois' destiny is out of their hands, out of their control.
And you're right, but I still say if they play a good game, I don't think necessarily they have to win, but I think they got to be real competitive. Because I think just by the hair on the chin, if they play competitive, I think they're in.
Well,
I think they're in.
I want folks, if they got an opinion on March Madness, call us at 384-2452. That's 384-2452. Give us a call. My road dog is back. Last week,
Back.
Bun Dog did a great job
Filled
here.
in wonderfully.
And
But if
he
you're out
filled
there-
in too.
But if you're out there, hey, thanks, man.
He filled that chair.
Yeah, because I see my chair is a lot lower. I had to get new wheels for this, I heard.
The suspension was,
Right.
little different load
Yeah.
he was carrying.
Yeah.
But Bun Dog, I love you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
There
you.
go that thumb again.
You know.
Good job, Bun. Good job. And thanks to the Carl people out there, you took care of me third floor.
Hey.
Not Carl. Sorry.
Yes, it was,
Covenant.
Carl. You don't even remember.
Covenant.
You don't remember what hospital you were at.
Covenant, third floor.
Right. Provena,
Bath,
Covenant.
Skip, all them guys. Chip, I forgot the name, but you know who I'm talking about. Covenant, third floor. They done a good job. Thanks, guys.
Now, I'm not, it's private stuff when you talk about your health and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
But you want to talk about the hemorrhoids?
I'd rather not.
You just want to move?
I'm sitting on a nice cushiony pillow. I don't want to flare nothing up.
Nothing.
Can we just talk about sports? I appreciate it.
It's tell it like it is. I was going to tell it like, but
I appreciate we get back to this at hand. We got a lot of things to talk about.
because you're a good preparator.
preparate air. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay.
Back to,
Well, if folks want to give us a holler and, wish my road dog back, talk about March Madness.
happy birthday. And look out, man, you clean tonight, man. You look really nice, man.
I feel like a defendant,
Wow.
like
Or a public defender.
you're my client now.
Right.
Tyrone? What's your name? I don't know, but yeah, I figured it would be fitting to bring you back
Right.
and the birthday. Put on some clothes. I got my Easter suit on. So
And don't forget, hey, Stat Girl. How you doing?
once again, now you know what? Have you been working out with the thumber size?
Yeah.
Getting that finger.
Yeah,
She's working it now. Well, like you said, not only is it March Madness in terms of basketball, there's some folks that done went mad out there.
crazy, man.
Now, up in Chicago, Tank Johnson, March 15th, so about 6 days, he's going back to court. And the prosecutor up in Chicago wants to throw Tank in jail.
I just think he wants money. You know, that's just a little scare tactic.
You think that's a scare tactic?
That's all. That's just a scare tactic. It's all about money with these cats, man.
Well, you know what? Here's my thing. Whether it's about money or not, I defend athletes because I always talk about the fact that they come from the same pool of people that everybody else comes from.
Yep.
Doctors, dentists, lawyers, blue-collar workers, you know, your bus drivers, your mailman. Ain't no different in terms of that. But the thing that I'm really, really getting surprised with is the fact that it seems like there's a tidal wave of athletes and bad behavior going on to the point where this criminal activity is just getting a little out of hand.
Out of control, man.
You know,
I agree.
we know about Tank's situation in Chicago, but there's somebody that needs to be riding a short bus in the NBA. He played for the Indiana Pacers. At one time, he was involved in a brawl in Detroit. The one, the only, Ron Artest. I think some people have heard about the fact that Ron Artest right now has a domestic case pending over his head. I guess he was restraining a female last week. And
He tried to beat the brakes off of him.
Ron Artest
Tried to beat the brakes off him. Didn't leave. He wouldn't leave. He didn't leave.
waited for the
He
police.
was waiting for him.
Hi, I'm Ron Artest.
But, you know, you can't run. You can't go nowhere.
What in the world is wrong with these brothers out here?
Well, let's see what the callers got to say, Joe.
See what the callers got to say? They hitting us at 384-2452, 384-2452. Tell it like it is. Joe Stovall, Johnny Dollar,
What's happening, caller?
folks calling in. Talk to us, caller.
Hello.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to wish Joe a happy birthday.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. Appreciate that.
Also, I'd like to talk about Thomas Jones. I wanted to
Okay.
get your feedback on trade, and if you think it was a good idea. I think a second-round pick is not good enough for Thomas Jones' talent.
Thomas Jones traded to the Jets last week. The Bears and Jets swapped positions on the second-round pick. Jones, 8 years in the league, ran for 1,200 yards with the Bears this year. I got to agree with the caller. It's not, to me, for the Bears, it's not a good swap.
And for me, as a Bears fan, I just don't think Cedric Benson can hold the load. I really
No.
don't. I just don't think he's the type of back that Chicago Bears are looking for right now.
And here's the other thing. In the NFL, unless you got a Larry Johnson or LaDainian Tomlinson, you need two quality backs.
Right.
Colts showed it in the Super Bowl. You need two quality backs. Who's going to be the number two back now that Benson's the man in Chicago?
It's gonna be something, man. It's gonna be. Coaches got to go to work.
Well, you know, with the switch in the draft picks, the Bears move up 26 spots in the second round. So maybe they're using the thinking of getting some fresh legs in terms of a running back in the second round, or maybe late in the first round with the 31st pick. Who knows? But I really think the situation is. You said at the beginning of the show, it's about money.
Yep.
This is a money move.
Yep.
The Bears have poured and invested a lot of money into Cedric Benson. He's going into his third year. He was the number 4 overall pick in the draft a couple years ago. They got to play him.
Yeah.
So they were stuck.
And I think the problem's gonna lie is, caller. I think Cedric Benson is gonna be like the Kerry Woods, Mark Pryor of Chicago, because he's accident prone. He runs so hard. He's not a cutback runner, so therefore he's gonna initiate a lot of contact. And with a lot of contact with them big defensive players, them linebackers and them linemen, he's gonna get injured, man. He's gonna get injured.
Case in point, Super
know?
Bowl. What happened in the
And
Super Bowl after the second carry?
He's a hard runner, but he just doesn't know how to elude people, and that's what he got to do. Thanks, caller.
Caller, appreciate you calling. Tell it like it is. Hit us
All right,
anytime.
for the show, guys.
Thank you.
And he's right, man. I mean, they have got to find somebody that can shake somebody. You got to shake somebody in the NFL.
He's a little shake and bake. You know.
Got to.
Now, when you played back in the day, anybody, you look like old flamingo dancer there with that move.
Well,
That's that old shake to the left, to the right.
shake
move.
them up. Shake them, boy. I'm telling you.
Now, you talk about Thomas Jones moving. There's a lot of movement going on in the NFL
This
right
is
now.
probably, over the last few years, this is probably the most activity in the NFL that I have seen.
Running backs are just
Wow.
going everywhere.
Wow.
And the phone going everywhere too. Stat Girl,
She going at it, ain't she?
thumb aside, she yeah.
Caller, welcome to Tell It Like It Is. What's on your mind? Hello.
I want to say happy birthday to Joey Stoey Lloyd
Is that Joey Stoey Lloyd?
Hey man.
and DLV.
Hey,
What's happening?
what's going on?
I had a couple of questions I want to top on.
All right.
As far as Thomas Jones, to me, that was a bad move.
Okay.
He done proven himself already.
Yep.
Benson ain't proven himself yet.
I
He's a
agree.
good back, and he was a good back in college. But this is the pros, and you still got to prove yourself. And it's probably you right all about a dollar sign.
Yep.
And the thing about Ron Artest, that's been going on in the league for a nice little while. And I feel like they should have been had this under control way before Ron Artest did what he did. You know?
Yep. Well, caller, let me ask you real quick about, first of all, let's talk about Ron Artest. When you say they should have had it under control, what do you think the league can do when it comes to the players' behavior off the court?
Off the court, it's kind of hard to say because, you know, people got their own personal lives, but still they need to be held accountable for what they do because they still a role model in the eyes of everybody else. On the court, there should be some real strict penalties put towards athletes that behaved in the kind of way to make the whole organization and the sport look bad in general.
You know, and I agree.
And sometimes you get a person to make $100 million or whatever, a contract, and to them, to lose $10,000 really don't hurt them. So if somebody get mad enough with a $150,000 contract making big money, they feel like they probably can do whatever they want to do.
And you're right, but that's why I think they should treat them just like we do our 8 and 5. You know, we go to work every morning from 8 to 5 or 4 to 1 or whatever we do. I think they should get a real strict, especially on these professional athletes, because they're making all the money, man, and they think they can just do what they want and get a high-priced lawyer to get them out of it 3 or 4 times.
Exactly.
And, you know, we got our kids looking up to these cats, you know, the men, the women. I mean, I think just like they're trying to do in the football, they should get strict. They should get strict on these players as far as they're making too much money, man, just to do what they want.
Right.
I agree, because anytime that you are of national status, you are automatically a role model.
Right on, LP. Hey, thanks for calling, man.
Take care, man. Happy birthday, Joe.
Appreciate
Right
it.
on. We got another caller, Joe, but he's right. He's right.
Role models, you can't escape it.
That's right.
You want the limelight, you want the accolades when
right.
you score a touchdown. You
right.
also got to take the responsibility when you do something off the court that's not in a positive light.
right.
So I agree. You need to tighten up the screws.
Caller, what's happening? What's your name? Hello, caller, what's your name? Tell it like it is.
This is Bootleg King, fresh out of Champagne.
The bootleg man.
Man,
I just want to say what's up, Dollar, and happy birthday, Big Joe.
Hey, bootleg, he pretty clean, ain't he, man?
Hey, he hurt him, but, you know, I was just sitting here wondering, me and the wife was, how much is Joe curling nowadays? I mean, because the biceps are looking pretty swole there.
Yeah, I think he got I mean, he looked like some toilet paper because one arm's not even with the other one. You know what I mean?
a lot of hey, Bootleg King, a lot of HGH, courtesy of John Rocker.
Hey, you got the HGA?
That's the Gary Matthews Jr. diet and John Rocker. You know, that's what I've been working on.
Okay, well, I got a question for you. Because this March Madness, this tournament's looking wide open to me. I don't have nobody I definitely can say look like they're going to win it all right now. And I was wondering you guys' opinion on that.
Well,
What do you like?
I'm going to tell you who I like right now. I like the Georgetown Hoyas out of the Big East. And the reason why I like the Georgetown Hoyas is 3 things. Number 1, defense. John Thompson III has them playing defense just like his dad used to have them playing defense with the old Hoya paranoia back in the 80s. Number 2, they got one of the biggest front lines in the NCAA. You got a 7'2" center. You got 6'10" forwards, 6'8" guys coming off the bench so they can pound the glass, especially if the game slows down, which you see in tournament ball. They usually grind it out at the end. And then number 3, they play a disciplined offense where they do that Princeton-style offense, a lot of backdoor cuts. That right now is my team that I'm looking at to go far. But as we say in March Madness, they could be one and done next week.
That's right,
Exactly.
because the way, hey, bootleg, the way who's playing right now, Notre Dame's putting it on them. I don't know if they're gonna make it, man. Wait, Notre Dame's put it on them. But this here is just getting you ready for that next level.
That's right.
You know, but my thing is, I'm a Big Ten man. I can't help it. But I still think Ohio State has a good chance. You know, if they stay consistent, they can't get big leads and blow it. And then again, the ex-Illini coach, the Kansas Jayhawks, they look good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Bootleg King, who do you think?
I'm wide open. I have a feeling Florida's going to get it together. I
think
got
so?
a feeling they're about to get it together.
Well, if they do, they'll be standing on the podium in them new tight suits that they got from Nike. I don't know if you had a
Right.
chance to take a look at them, but Florida's a good pick. But as we said earlier, March Madness, whoever you pick,
yep.
they're going to ride. So, Bootleg King,
Thanks for calling, man.
hey, man, who's going to win the World Series? I know you DVD.
Chicago Cubs.
Cubs going to win. You already got on DVD.
I like the way you think. I love the way you think, Bootleg.
I tap.
I love it, Bootleg. All
right.
Hey, man. We got another caller, Joe. Hey, caller. Johnny Dollar, Joe Stovall. Tell it like it is. What's happening?
Hey, is this the Biggie Small tribute?
Yeah, there's Big right here. That's Biggie and the Small.
I see two guys looking like Biggie Small.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Oh, Lord.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Stovall. Happy birthday to you. Hey, y'all, you got, first time on UPTV, Channel 6.
I cannot believe this.
Birthday celebration for my buddy. Look at here. We got his brother. We got his buddy. We got OG, Stu baby.
Stu, baby.
This is his brother. They look just like twins. One just swole up, you know.
Wait a minute, do I got to put this
Yeah,
hat
you
on,
got to
man?
keep that on the whole.
I got to keep it on the whole
The
show?
whole show.
Hold on.
The whole show. You know, there you go.
Do it look good?
Yep. The whole show. But hey, fella,
All right, come on. Give us some background. You know, I feel like a unicorn right now with this hat on.
yeah, man. Now, I'm glad y'all showed up. We talking about some big things. Man. Them Hoosiers. And that's where we got to go after this. Go watch them games.
Illinois, Indiana.
We know who he's going for.
Who? You got to remember, he's a little dyslexic. He can't.
So he's not. Oh. Cleveland.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I figured I put my coach's outfit on. I told him earlier I felt like a defendant in court when I walked in here. You know.
Well, Joe, we can't ignore the caller because we got some more people on the phone line who can say something.
Well, they can say something.
Hey, caller, welcome to Tell It Like It Is. We got Joe, my boy, everybody back here. What's going on? What's your name?
My name's Darren Hersey,
Triple.
and I was looking at the suit that Mr. Stovall had on.
And what do you think about that?
If it gets any tighter, it might cut off the circulation in his knees or his ankles. And the little hat he got on reminds me of when I was in the 6th grade and I was at the circus, and they had a little dwarf with real thick arms, but 2'7", with a 16-inch shoe.
Oh man, this
14-inch
is start turning to comedy hour.
Hold on a second. That's
Well, look,
a technical
They got
foul.
Stu Baby in the back looking like Bishop Darwin.
Hey, just.
They got somebody in the back who had
But look here, hey Darren, just for those of y'all, Darren, could you shut up for a minute?
and little Johnny Dollar. We down at the Whip Barbecue and Hair Cutting Salon.
But look here, for those of y'all who don't know who's talking, that's Darren Hersey. He's an ex-MLB Major League Baseball player for the Detroit Tigers. Detroit, he pitched 2 innings and broke his finger. And gave him his contract money and sent him back to Champaign.
On the bus.
On the bus, he got to Champaign, everybody, and went to Cunningham Autos and bought him a BMW, and it smoked for 4 years. But this is Darren Hersey, Triple H. That's our buddy, all day, every day.
Now, Triple H, you called in here to get off jokes, and we'll let you have that one.
Now, give us some sports
Let
things.
me get this last one out. And I'm I'm just proud that the swelling has gone down in Johnny Dollar's forehead, so he is now the official spokesperson for Head On.
He said all right here.
Yeah.
He got a full-page spread in Headbutt Magazine, page 58. And I just couldn't see y'all on TV.
Well, okay, while you on the line, let me ask you this. Who's going to win?
Mr. Stovall got all of them. The only reason he works in insurance is because he thought that they said steak farm instead of state farm. He thought they was passing out steaks for every auto claim he got.
Well, man, look here. Do you know anything about sports or what? Do you know anything about sports?
So I hate to say it, but I think Illinois is going to get beat by about 14 tonight.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Well, you know, Darren, I don't
One
understand
thing
that.
about sports, I don't think that I've ever lost to the Expos.
Okay.
Well, on that note,
We're going to
Cut you off.
We're going to say, hey, thanks for calling Triple H. See you at same bat time, same bat channel.
kapow.
Clicking.
Tell it like it is.
I bet, I can understand it because, he has the phone so close to his mouth and he got like 100 teeth in his mouth. So you can't really understand him. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Man, yeah. But look, enough of that. Look, what do y'all think? Stu, who do you think's going to win the tournament this year? Big Ten tournament? Or who do you think's going to get to the NCAA finals? Or who's your Final Four pick? What do you think? The Big Ten tournament or the whole thing? Big Ten tournament? What about the tournament itself? You got your favorites? First seed, there's 4 of them. There's 4 of them. Oh, first seed who's in? Well, don't say Indiana win the whole thing. Man.
Big Ten, Indiana, Winthrop, NCAA champ.
Winthrop. Hey, you know what?
You know, we don't. No,
We don't want to do that.
No, we don't want to do that. Even if they do them two games.
Well, we got a couple.
That's a
buddies,
sure bet, but,
he's an Indiana fan. He's a Kentucky fan, a Louisville fan. So
Louisville on top, that's why he's Louisville fan.
yeah.
Always. Carson, please bring it.
But let me, that's good. That's a good thing. But me and Joe was talking about earlier, man, as far as about all these kids, especially these college kids are having problems, and
Jody Ellis, McPherson from Illinois. They started picking up iPods and laptops a couple weeks ago. Now, Coach Zook just said, shh, cut them loose. Instant.
no hesitation.
No hesitation. Went straight to the chancellor, got permission, revoked his scholarships.
Well, not be 1,000-yard receivers and rushers. They got to go.
So you're saying that if the stats were a little different,
Stats were a little better.
They would have
They
a.
should still be suspended.
well, I have to agree with you. And I'll tell you why I agree with you. Jimmy Johnson said it best. There are different levels of treatment for different types of players.
Yeah.
You know.
Would they done that to Bush? If Bush had to get caught stealing laptops when he was playing for USC.
Right. They've just basically been charged with it. They were just driving down the street with a car full of laptops and iPods and prescription medication. That's not theirs. But other than that, they're innocent until presumed
Something is
guilty.
wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, I look at it like this.
Did somebody see him?
I don't know if we have any witnesses or not.
If anybody saw him do it, please call 384-2452. And don't say your name.
Right, because this is not Crime Stoppers. We will tell on you real quick.
Don't say your name. Just say, I seen it.
And you'll have some,
I was in the back seat.
it'll be some linebackers at your house tonight.
Oh, man, big time.
Don't make that mistake. Don't trust us. We'll tell on you in a Kansas City minute.
Yeah, but,
So you won't, huh?
man, big
But
thanks.
McPherson and Ellis, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. To me, it's a microcosm of a bigger problem in our society. That, whether it be politicians or regular folks, people are getting in trouble on things. To me, it's not about need; it's about greed.
Yeah.
Now, we had a conversation earlier about what the background of players and where they come from, and the limitations that they have, and are they forced into this lifestyle, into a life of crime, because the limitations that the NCAA puts on them.
Well, it's just like we spoke earlier. If I'm a recruiter and if I come to 1,000 miles to come and get your son, he's one of the top ranked players in the state, number one in the country. But I'm taking him from you. You know, you live in a low income home. You don't have money to send your kids. You know, you thousands of miles away from where you're taking them from. So when you get them here on campus, I feel that, and I spoke with Joe about this. I feel that the coaching staff, the university itself has a responsibility for him, because once that kid gets here, and when you went to get him, you know where you had to go to get him, in the projects, trailer courts, or wherever. They ain't got the finances to do what other kids has to do. So when you get him here, I think you should at least have a plan, man, to where I got to keep on this kid. I know he ain't got no money to do this, but you got to have a plan for these kids when you get him here. Some way to keep money in their pocket, some way to where they won't have to look at a way, I need this or I need that, because it's all about style now with a lot of these cats coming to schools.
So you're saying they should be paid?
They should. Well, they should be paid the millions of dollars like the NBA, but I think they should have some kind of allowance, an allowance, because if it wasn't for these big time cats, believe me, that's where universities getting their money from. Just like that movie Blue Chip.
Right.
The movie Blue Chip will tell you, the alumni says, hey, this money belongs to these kids. If it wasn't for the kids.
No doubt, sometimes kids do stuff like that for kicks. They'd be like, hey, let's go ahead. What are you gonna do now?
Well,
let's go ahead and break in some cars. It get fun to you, and after a while, you say, well, we can start making some money off this.
Yeah. Well, there's something.
The next thing you know, he's a thief.
Now here's the question. Here's the other question that you have to look at. These two were charged with possession of stolen goods and burglary, 4 counts of burglary. But on the same weekend, how many other students on campus were involved in criminal activity?
Right.
And how many of them received the same publicity and the same charges that these guys received?
You don't hear about it, and you won't.
Yeah, well, I think it's about money.
Yeah.
And bottom line is, until we start treating these athletes in a better limelight in terms of compensating them, like you said, giving them allowance, stuff like this is going to continue to happen in terms of that. Not saying that maybe they come from a background where they need to go out and burglarize apartments and steal, but if you're limited in terms of that as a college student, I know there's a lot of other college students that disagree with me and say, hey, I'm at school, I'm broke, I don't have any money, I got to work my way through. But when you're under scholarship, you can't work.
Now it's a different story when you go to that next level. You're making millions of thousands. Maybe they should do our test like they did these football players. Hey, Artest, you're gone, you're fired.
Right.
There's no excuse when you're making that amount of money, man. There's no excuse for you to clown like that. There's no excuse for you to go in a club, and throw $81,000 around, and then you want to beat everybody up, try to get it back.
Right.
There's no reason for you to go home and beat up your wife or your girlfriend because, for whatever reason.
And the fact that you got millions of dollars, you think you get away with it. But, you talk about money. Kind of segue over to the NFL. We talked earlier about free agency going on. And we talked earlier about Thomas Jones being traded by the Bears, going to the New York Jets. Well, there's another Bear that's in a little squabble with Bears management, Lance Briggs. Lance Briggs got the franchise tag put on him, meaning that if he signs with another team, they've got to give the Bears 2 number 1 draft picks. Yep. Well, Lance Briggs said he doesn't want to play for the Bears anymore. He feels he's been disrespected.
Yep.
Now, he's guaranteed right now $7.2 million. I love to be disrespected that way. I don't know about you, but
you can disrespect me with like $300,000, but that's
did you say
level.
What'd you say, $3?
$300,000. Just disrespect me for $300,000, but Lance Briggs wants that Urlacher money, man. He's tired of waking up every day, turning on ESPN, and when Chicago Bears name comes up, the first name they bring up is Brian Urlacher.
Well,
Rex Grossman.
Here's my question. Should he be forced to honor his contract?
Yeah, he should. I think he should.
All right, now, I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't think he should, and I'll tell you why. The contracts, the money's not guaranteed, just like we found out last week. Guys were coming up to March 1st to receive signing bonuses, and what did the teams do? Did they honor the signing bonuses? No, they cut them. They cut them on February 27th and 28th, so they would not be obligated to pay the signing bonus.
Right.
So the street goes both ways. There's no loyalty in sports anymore. the franchises are trying to save as much money as they can and sign the guys that they want. You know, Lance Briggs was an integral part of the Bears defense getting them to the Super Bowl. Now that that's happened, Bears like, whatever, we'll give you what we want to give you. But we're not going to honor you holding out. So I look at it this way. If I'm Lance Briggs, I'll go ahead and sit out the season because he's going to parlay that into big free agency money next year. And the reason why, what if Lance Briggs plays this year and gets hurt?
And what if he sits out and gets hurt?
Now, we ain't talking about Kerry Woods. He ain't falling out of hot tubs now, you know.
But I don't know, man. It's business, and business works in mysterious ways. You just don't know what's going to happen, man.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's happening in the NFL, you got running backs moving everywhere. Willis McGahee just got traded to the Baltimore Ravens. Jamal Lewis, who was a Baltimore Raven, is now a Cleveland Brown. We talked earlier, Thomas Jones is a Jet. Travis Henry's gone. He's moved to, I think, was it Denver? He moved on to Denver. Ahman Green's down in Texas. And we've got Bell out of Denver, who's in Detroit. So you haven't seen this much movement.
No, today, Ruben Jones
Went to the Giants. There you go. Good catch, Bundy. So, I mean, you haven't seen this much movement in terms of running backs in the history of the league.
They juggling, man.
I mean, is it going to work?
Cedric Benson still playing for the sideline.
Yeah.
he got fat pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what a caller just called in not too long ago. OMG. Cedric Benson's not going to work for Chicago, man. He's not going to.
I don't understand why they let Jones go.
He's not going to be a good fit. And Lovey better pull a rabbit out of his hat and better do a big deal or do something, because Cedric Benson, he's a hard physical runner, and with all them big linemen and linebackers running heads up, he's going to be injured. He's going to be the Kerry Woods and Mark Pryor of Chicago. He's not going to play a full season. He's going to be sitting out most of the time.
Now, I know people sitting out there checking this out. I appreciate all the love that you gave me in terms of the birthday celebration, but the phone lines still are open. You can still hit us at 384-2452. It's 384-2452.
I think y'all scared people from calling
Right.
as soon as y'all walked in.
I walked in. And
I was like, man, y'all.
That girl, did you unplug the phone? Is that what happened?
They must be Illinois football players or something.
And see,
There
we
they go.
yell out, the phone rings. So,
Oh, man.
you know, they did scare
Y'all
me when they
do look
walked
like
in.
some football. You look like a place kicker. You look like, you know what I mean?
Hey, he got the safest job on the field.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay.
He looks like a right guard.
I was thinking more of a left out
Yeah.
as opposed to a right
Tight
guard.
end.
Is that a tight end?
Tight end.
Wow. Well, Joe, I think we got a caller. I think they.
You got somebody with some courage.
Yeah.
They say, all right, they don't intimidate me.
All right.
I'm
Call
going
it.
to tell it like it is.
What's happening?
What up, baby? This Shaq, straight out South Hills. I just want to say I love what y'all doing, brothers, man. Bundy, you know me. Let's get out, man. I love what y'all doing, brother. Keep it up.
Right
All
on.
right. Appreciate that. Anything you want to say in reference to March Madness or what's going on with the NFL free agency caller?
Not really. I think they need to stop shooting so many three-pointers.
Well, you got to shoot them trays, man. If you got one of them nice, sweet releases, you want to show off in front of the cheerleader.
Well, I mean, if you're hitting them, that's good. But if you're not, then you beat it downstairs to prove it. You
Right.
get?
I feel you.
Well, caller's got an excellent point there. Caller, appreciate you calling. Take care. Tell it like it is.
All right, y'all stay up.
Okay.
All right, man.
What he's talking about there, if you watch most of these games that's going on, these teams are jumping out to these 15, 20-point leads, and they're getting out there based on the three, but then they keep jacking them up, and the 20 and 15-point leads dwindle down to single digits. Illinois,
Yeah, I'm gonna glue it.
Penn State. That's how Penn State got back in the game.
What's his name? Walker?
Texas Ranger.
Man, he was
letting
fire.
it go.
And all these little left-hand shooters, man. Michigan State, Heinz, what's his name? He's a little
Britney Spears.
southpaw, and Walker from
Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah. Well, like I said, caller made an excellent point. Basketball IQ seems like it's down. It just seems like guys aren't understanding the game the way they used to back in the day and understanding situations. And so they get these big leads, and as opposed to using the clock to their advantage, as you said, feeding the post, what are they doing? Jacking threes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get on SportsCenter. That's what it is. But before they get on SportsCenter, they got to get on Tell It Like It Is.
And we got a caller that want to get on. Caller. Tell it like it is. What's happening?
This got that delay.
Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Tell it like it is, caller.
How you doing?
Doing good.
I thought I'd change the subject and bring up the Chicago Cubs here, and particularly Mark Pryor in the 5th spot in the rotation. What do you guys think about that?
Mark Pryor in the 5th spot? No.
Why not, Joe?
Two things. Number one, sports, as Yogi Berra used to say, is 80% physical, 90% mental. He's mentally shot. It has nothing to do with his mechanics now. I think he's been injured, and he's been so inconsistent over the past 3 seasons that now you want to stick him in as the 5th starter in that rotation. I think they need to stick him in the bullpen with Kerry Woods as a middle reliever and let him work his way back into that spot.
Well, I still think Pryor can still be a starter. I think he still, like you said, it's a mental thing. And I think he just needs to get a few good starts underneath his sleeve and maybe the consistency to carry on. But him and Kerry Woods, they just got to do what they got. Kerry Woods, I think he is a reliever. I think he is a bullpen. I think he should come out the bullpen and be a good 1-2 relief pitcher. But I think Pryor got some good stuff. I still think he can do it if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, I think Cubs got a good.
Caller, here's the thing I think about Mark Pryor. He has no movement on his fastball. And because of that,
you couldn't hit it.
Man,
you couldn't hit it.
I'd send it on Waveland. Left-handed.
Yeah, you couldn't hit it.
Left-handed. Could you hit it?
Yeah,
I heard you.
You know, but I'm going to tell you right now, caller, with no movement on that fastball, the Cubs have constructed a team of home run hitters. So if the wind's blowing out and they're hitting home runs and he's on the mound, their opponents are going to be hitting home runs too.